everything is new when you start to actually be yourself and show up in the world. Things can be a little more sticky. Things can be a little more interesting and different. When you hit your rock bottom, it can be a little challenging. So, do I have permission to actually be myself and you be yourselves in this space today? Okay. Now, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I've always been a very empathic person, and I'll be staring at all of you, so please be comfortable. So, I've always been a very empathic person where I just see more, sense more, feel more, understand a little bit more, but don't really quite get it all the time. It's just like, I don't understand that. Haven't experienced that one. That one's different. And that was the way my life was when my life came crashing down about a year ago. Yeah, it's been a year. It was 4 years of complete just boom, 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 pounding and pounding, basically to figure out what I was willing to accept, what I wasn't willing to accept, where I was willing to go, where I wasn't willing to go, figuring all the different things out in my world, and then it culminated into and I didn't tell this until the after effects in the other session, but this will be fun in this session. So, culminated into a marriage of 6 weeks. I felt humiliated. I felt completely devastated because I married someone who wanted to become a citizen and didn't tell me about it. And I was so naive, I didn't know what to actually look for. So, when that entire world of what the heck, I'm an empath, I should know better, I help people heal, I should be this kind of person, collapsed in on me, I just started going, okay, hit rock bottom. How do you climb yourself back out? Well, thank heavens, I started doing healing work like I do for, I don't know how many years now, it's been over 20. So I had a little bit more of a grasp on what to do to climb my way back out. However, it still took me a year. Surprisingly enough and horribly enough. But that's okay, because the whole premise of when you hit rock bottom is do not judge you or anyone else around you. Because the moment you do, you take yourself out of your reality and you take yourself out of your entire consciousness to not see things. You just don't see everything at that point. So don't judge. You just have no idea. So when you actually start to climb your way back out, for me, it was about having my voice. And when I was a kid, I always knew I was supposed to teach. However, I never knew how to own the voice. I've always been the healer person. Keep my mouth shut. Pay attention to the energy, pay attention to what's going on around me, do the things of that kind of nature. However, when you start to actually be more truthfully yourself when you actually hit, then it's about step and step and step. And those steps can be really hard. And just feel it. I used to believe that because this was the way it was taught to me and I was teaching to other people. It was about, how do I say this? Feel your stuff, but always walk into the session when you walk into the session and into where you're walking into. Walk in there in such a way that you are the person that they see, that they can go, oh, type of thing. And I found that that didn't work. It didn't heal. It didn't heal me and it didn't heal the other person. Because when I changed the energy of that space, of whatever it was, it stopped them from being who they were and it stopped me from being who I was. So when I fully allowed myself to be the ich, and the yuck, and the horrible, and the feeling of just, ugh. And still be here. I'm still here to help you. I'm still blank, blank, blank. And it scared the crap out of me because everything told me to not do it. However, nothing else worked. So I'm like, okay, if my entire practice and everything I do is going to die, let's try it. So that's what I tried. And a miracle happened in that moment. What happened was all of a sudden, I showed up in the space and so did they. All of a sudden, something incredible happened to where I was just, if I was, let's use the example, I'm a little bit pissy in the morning, okay? So I walk in there and I'm just a little bit pissy. I don't abuse them, I don't, say harsh feelings, I don't do any of those things, but I'm just a little, that kind of thing. So when they come in to actually see me and I'm working with them and they bounce off of that energy because I'm a little kind of thing, all of a sudden they rise up in a way that they would have never risen up with anyone before. And all of a sudden, because I was a little I would just call them right on it. Or I would be right there with the energy with them. Or I would not manipulate it to be any way different. And when that happened, all of a sudden, boom, a massive explosion of energy actually happened in the session. Things actually happened that I would have never expected in any other way. And they went, oh my gosh, I feel this and I notice this and this is happening and that is happening. And all of that is gone. All of their stuff of whatever the hell they were dealing with is gone. And miracles happened to where they would have actually never been able to be who they were if I would have come in there and fixed the energy. So here we are, noticing where I'm at and going, okay, don't fix it. Crap. What the hell am I supposed to do? Because I feel like shit. So I walk in and I just feel like shit in my day. I still am able to actually take a shower. Took me everything in my world to get me out of bed to take that shower and to get me to work. And everything in my world to eat when I needed to eat and to show up in the world. But I did it. And my worst horrible, oh my gosh, I can't believe this days were the most miraculous, insane, awesome, life-changing experiences of my life up to this date. I learned to not comb my hair all the time. I learned to not put on makeup all the time. And the only reason I'm putting on makeup today is because I'm on camera. So I learned all of these amazing different things of being me and being accepting of that, which was hard for me because I was so used to putting on this thing, I put on my wardrobe, I put on my stuff. And now, gained some weight, and I'm wearing tie-dye. Are you effing kidding me? I don't wear tie-dye. But I'm doing it now because it's something that is calling in the world, in me, and everything else. Things are not always black and white and beautifully presented. They're messy, and it's okay to be messy. We're taught that it's not okay to be messy. Oh, that's a bunch of crap. Because you cannot heal as an empath. And empathic means if you are actually feel sensitive, more aware, that kind of thing, you cannot heal if you actually are not allowing yourself to be you. So, this is what I learned a while ago. And this is what helped me get back to being me. Now, for me, it was about making a recipe card for me. We all have different ways of healing, and we all, when we hit rock bottom, have different ways of climbing ourselves back out. And when we are sick, let's use an example. When we're sick, we forget to take our vitamin C. We forget to do certain things. It's out of our brain. We don't even think about it. However, those are the things that are actually going to help us to get to blank or get to that next step or be able to be blank. I don't know, anything. So, It's easy. Do the easy, easy, easy things. And you want to hear something that's so stupidly funny on my card first? Sleep. Eat. Take vitamins. Drink water. Bathe every day. Are you kidding me? However, when you are down that low, you forget to get out of bed and out of your pajamas and actually bathe. You forget to take those vitamins that are sitting right on that counter. You know they're there, but you forget to do it. You forget to actually eat. And you forget to get your butt in bed early enough so you can actually get some sleep. You do the Netflix thing. You do the fix-it stuff. And you drink too much. And you do the different stuff that actually you just fix. And why? Because it's easy, yet it takes you from where you're at, and it numbs you just enough that it may help you through that little hump. However, when you come out of that hump a little bit, your energy is just a little bit lower than where it was. And the object of the game is to be able to be you most of the time and have your energy high. You want to feel good in your life, and you want to have happiness in your world. And I'm sure you do, just like I. We are all this way. Something else in my little thing, my number 2. This is kind of entertaining. Light candles and send energy there. So whenever things get too intense in my home and I feel smothered and I have no energy to clean it, to change the energy up, and I can try and fix it all I want by playing this or doing that or doing all these different things, do something tiny. Light a candle and just an intention. Set it there. And slow, 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 things start to change. Write in journals. Write in journal. Puke your guts up. Get it out of your system. If you are not a journal writer, walk, jog, yoga. Feel your body. Do something movement. Take a tennis ball and hit upside the house to get things moving. Anything, just movement of any sort will actually help that. So, being aware of yourself means, well, that's an interesting question because the energy shifted in the room right now. So, take a deep breath, wiggle toes. Let's actually ask. Being aware of ourselves, what does that take? What does that mean? Does it mean just noticing what you notice? No judgment. No self-beat up, no self-preservation, no nothing. You just notice. Awareness. Don't judge the negative emotions. It's fascinating. The negative emotions actually tell us where we're at. They tell us what we're willing to put up with. They tell us what we're not willing to put up with. They tell us where we are. And we can't heal anything in our world unless we notice exactly where we are. Because that is our starting point. If we're on Candyland, that's where we are. We can't move to the next square until we notice where we're at. So, yeah, just notice, just notice. And I used to be told that you're not supposed to eat in public. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do that. And that's someone else's language. That may not be your language. For me, hypoglycemic, need to keep that stuff up. need to keep the blood sugar up, need to keep things going, or I get, and I'm sure I'm a little B-red today because I'm nervous, but you know, when my blood sugar goes down, my brain power goes down, my energy goes down, my face gets beet red, feel pass out, and that moments, those are the moments when people actually come into my energy world and not only mess with it and make connections that shouldn't be connected, but that's when they want to connect. Because all of a sudden your energy's low enough that it's like, oh, yay, now I can connect with this person. So they walk into your energy, go, hi, how are you? And you're like, oh my God, what the hell do I do with this? And you feel faint and you feel all the weirdness and you feel all not quite yourself. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, get away from it. But the awareness is, if you were listening to your body and you did what it told you to do, drink water, eat a carrot, do something, all of a sudden you'd still be able to be there and still connect with them, and they wouldn't be able to make those kind of ties. Now let's say for an instance that they do. Let's say they do make a connection, they do make a tie, and you don't know what to do, and all of a sudden you're being drained. Okay? Awareness. Breathe. Wiggle toes. Go ahead and breathe. Wiggle toes. And we notice and we reconnect. Breathing and wiggle toes connects your physical and your energetic. In that space, you are fully connected. You can demand anything you want to demand. You can change anything you want to change. And in that moment, you can pay attention to your gut instinct and see what your gut instinct says at that moment. When your gut instinct actually speaks and tells you, oh my gosh, I have a pain right here. Wow. And you didn't notice that before. Then you can go in and ask your gut, okay, what color is it? What feeling is it? Is there a remembrance there? Is there something actually happening there? And you just are aware of it. It's like this little screaming kid. Let's kind of step back. Okay, screaming kid comes up to you, goes, oh my God, I got it. And you're like, oh my God, hi, oh my gosh, yes, how can I help you? You know, this kind of thing. And you just listen to them. You just listen to what the child has to say. When the child speaks, all of a sudden you're just like going, oh, that's horrible, that sucks, oh my gosh, that's awful. And in that moment, when they go, and you go, you feel better? Mm-hmm. And then they just go run and they go do their own stuff. And you're like standing there flabbergasted, like, oh my gosh, that is not what adults do. Holy crap. However, that's exactly what we do. We're just not paying attention to it. So what we actually do is our insides, our emotions, they want to be heard. They want to be noticed. There wants to be an awareness there. So when we feel this pain here, it's like, oh my God, what the heck is going on? You listen to what it actually has to say. You pay attention. Is it a color? Is it a feeling? Is it a remembrance? Because your gut doesn't speak like your mind. Your mind's the computer. It tells you everything under the sun that is going on and does not tell you the truth. Your gut always tells you the truth. So if you maintain that connection to your gut, you're golden. So let's say, for an instance, yeah. Yes, exactly, the ego. Exactly, that's another way of putting it. Thank you so much. So pay attention and go, oh my gosh, what is that there? Huh. Let's use an example, okay? Wow, I have some fear going on there. Why do I have fear there? And all of a sudden you notice the other person and go, oh wow, they're like really comfortable with who they are. And I'm feeling a little uncomfortable with that. It's like that little kid screaming, okay? And you notice all the colors and you notice all the differences and you notice all the little stuff with it. And you're just aware of what's actually going on there. The little kid goes, huh, yeah, that is what it is. Boom. That energy connection, that little whatever, vampirism, whatever you want to call it, done, gone. It's over. Because it has nothing to hold on to anymore. You owned your shit. This is your shit. This is your emotional bullshit that we actually lie to ourselves and say that actually isn't there. You own that, and it's done. It's good. Okay? So, don't judge anything, because we have absolutely no idea what it's all about. So no fantasizing, no fantasy. Deal with reality. Deal with the hard truth, the gut-wrenching, rip-wrenching, horrible, awful truth. Because the truth is, you are the only one who can change your world. We are all here. And why? We're here because we noticed that there was something going on in our world and we were drawn to actually be here. You chose to come into this session with me. And most people are scared of me, by the way, so congratulations. Kudos to you. Yay! So the reason for that is I don't lie. I'm truthful. So when things show up and somebody doesn't want to look at it, they run the other way. It's not my stuff, but it's theirs. So, truth, you light your own fire. So when you light your own fire, that's where the yeses know your yeses and your nos. What are you willing to put up with? What are you not willing to put up with? Who in your world no longer serves? Who in your world do you actually have to limit your contact with them because it is not serving you anymore? What actually works for you and what doesn't work for you anymore? How do you climb your way back out? Step by step by step. Tiny stuff. Tiny, tiny. Don't make it big. Don't make it complicated. Or you'll just look at it and go, hell no, I'm not doing that today. So, this is what I did. Want to see what I did? This is what I did to help me take my power back. Not realizing that it was actually going to be a spiritually empowering moment in my life. Had no effing clue, but here we go. I decided to. So, bear all, right? Truth. You know me without even knowing me, because you recognize the energy. I know you because I recognize the energy. There's no lies. So this is what I decided to do this last year. When I went to the tattoo artist, of which took me a while to actually figure out, he said, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I'm like, "Yes," because I've never had a tattoo before. He's like, "You do realize that the stomach is the most painful part of the body to get a tattoo?" I'm like, "I don't care, I want it." But here's the interesting thing that I noticed. So, oh, and I'm supposed to keep it up. Okay, fine. Here we go, bear all. I'll listen to the energy. So, here we go. Truth. So, when I walked in there, he's like, "Why do you want it there? Of all places?" And I'm like, because this is where the energy comes into me. When I work with people, this is where it hits first. It comes into my soul and I cannot get it out. And I don't know how. I don't know what's exactly going on. And that was part of the reason why I hit rock bottom. Because I didn't know how to actually deal with this. And yes, I gained a little bit of weight, but love to belly, love to belly. So, it's all good. So, this is what I decided to do. And so, for a year, I started having little things done to it, okay? So, first, I had the sun mandala put on there to remind myself, I am a day person. Every relationship I have ever been in has been a night person, of which I have never been able to have a full, good relationship with someone because I was not being my truthful self. I couldn't be with them because they would be on different sleep schedules and different schedules than me. So, there we go. This is why I put that on there. And then, around the outside, fire. I light my own fire. I am responsible for my own life. Nobody else is responsible for me but me. And that was a hard thing to take and a hard thing to learn because for me as a woman, I was taught that men were supposed to provide, men were supposed to help me in my world, and men were supposed to listen to my own personal bullshit, which is a bunch of bullshit. However, that's what I believed. So had to heal that one. That was fun. And then on the inside of it is a Eye of Horus to remind me that when stuff comes towards me that is not mine, here you go, thank you very much, it's not mine, there you go, to give it back. You cannot heal what is not yours. You can't heal it. That stuff where that person connected into me, yes, I could see what was mine and how it was connected into me. However, they were connecting into them with their stuff, and I noticed some things that were not me inside of this. And you can't heal anything that isn't yours, no matter what. So it's like, okay, here we go. Give it back, thank you very much, there you go. And so you give it back. However, I needed a tattoo across the forehead, so apparently I did belly instead. So, the fun, the fun, the fun. Okay, so find where you draw your strength so that you can heal your own personal stuff. That is one of the most important things for you to realize, important things to remember. Have something that actually feeds you. And the things that I have found for me is a connection. God, relationship with source energy, religion, something that feeds your soul. And when those things happen, do something to feed your soul, because that is going to take you into your next Candyland step. And then you'll deal with that. Yay, and notice all the stuff around that. And then you'll be able to take your next Candyland step and go, oh my gosh, look, I'm actually getting closer. The fun stuff, the fun stuff. So, what I want to leave with you today, you get to decide when you hit rock bottom, live or die. Live means actually doing something, whatever. It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be anything. Just do something. Die is when we watch Netflix for 10 hours. When we drink and when we numb ourselves out, when we eat too much. Oh, I did a good job with that one. When we eat too much, when we do all of these different things that numb our systems out. That is what actually stops us from us being us. So, is it okay if I feel? Is it okay if I actually notice what's going on in the room? Do I have your permission to do so? Yes? Okay. Deep breath. Wiggle toes. The biggest thing that's showing up in this space is finding what kind of connection you have. So get out your piece of paper and your pen. Do you have some? Okay, here. Here you go, baby. You're welcome. Yeah. So go ahead and take one and help yourself to the candy, please. Because we all need to be kissed. Come on. It's all good. So, we'll just wait here for a sec. So deep breath, wiggle toes, feel your systems. Showing up and being you. Feel your stuff. Notice what you notice. And the biggest thing that showed up in the space a moment ago was having a connection. So, what is your connection that you wish to do tonight when you go home? What is the first gut instinct? No judgment. Okay. So, notice what you notice, feel what you feel, no judgment. Even negative emotions have their place. Because when you notice what you notice, then you can take the next step. So, thank you so much for being here. And thank you for coming. I am so excited that you came to check this out. This is really cool. So thank you for, I never thought I'd actually ever show, ever. This was for me. Now I'm showing people, you know. So thank you so much for this. I am excited for your next journeys. At my table over there, I have some drawings for a session and some big old kisses. So if you want, I have some journals that I'm selling as well. So please come on over if you so wish. If you so wish. And thank you for being here. I bless you. And I wish you all the wonderful best. Thank you very much.